The Azores, next to Madeira, are one of the two autonomous regions of Portugal. The archipelago is composed of 9 volcanic islands in the Micronesia region of the North Atlantic Ocean. About 1,400 kilometers off the coast of Lisbon, the islands are characterized by dramatic landscapes, fishing villages, green pastures, and hedgerows of blue hydrangeas. In this video, we will take you to the highlights of our 2-week trip to the Azores. If you've followed our channel for a while, you know we are into hiking, so let's start with the hikes. Our 5th favorite hike is on Sao Miguel, the PRC06 SMI. The Lagoa das Furnas is a simple little hike directly next to Furnas. You can easily combine it with the trip to the botanical garden, but the hike itself is a highlight on its own. Along the trail you will find countless wooden statues, but if that is not enough, you can explore the geothermal features at Furnas. Number 4. PRC37 SMI. The trail to Janela do Inferno starts off unspectacular. However, the small cramped tunnels transport you into this almost magical forest. You almost feel like you've been transported into a long forgotten time. At the center of the hike you will discover this beautiful small waterfall that drops out of a cave. Number 3. PRC04 FAI. Located on Faial, this hike was perfect for a day trip to the island. The ecosystem within the caldera is very precious, so you are required to get a guide to descend into the crater. Still, even a trip around the rim of the crater is spectacular. The rough wind conditions on top of the crater shape the flora and make this hike very unique. Number 2. PRC02 SMI. The hike to the Lagoa do Fogo, or Lake of Fire, was truly spectacular. While they are a very common sight on Madeira, here on Sao Miguel we only did one hike along a levada. The first half of the ascent might be boring, but after you will be rewarded with this incredible forest. Finally, the view at the top is simply perfect, and there's a lot less people than at the viewpoint. Finally, number 1. Trilho do Pico. We are often drawn to the highest point of a country. Pico is not only the highest point of the Azores, but it's also the highest point of Portugal. The hike itself is a strenuous climb to the top of a volcano. There is no shadow and no protection from the glistering sun. Still, Pico's unique shape with a peak on top of a peak and the steaming fumaroles at the top make this hike unique. So, let's talk general activities. On Sao Miguel you can find both Europe's oldest and only remaining tea plantation, Gorreana. Next to the option to tour the factory itself, you can also do a small walk along the tea fields. The upper part of the hike is very unspectacular, but the lower part is worth a visit. Especially as this way you don't have to travel to Asia to visit a tea plantation. With the volcanic origin of the islands, hot pools are a common sight across Sao Miguel. Furnas is one of the best places you can go to visit the geothermal features. Next to the publicly accessible features, there's also a botanical garden that will provide you access to one of the hot pools. Water in this pool is so rich in iron that its natural color is brown. Also, it doesn't seem to matter how much you shower after, you will still stain your towels. The water is comfortably warm, and the access to the botanical garden includes a dip into the pool. For the more adventurous, there's also a natural thermal pool at the side of the ocean. Here, the hot water flows directly into the ocean, and as long as you stay close to the shore, it's a very pleasant time. The waters surrounding the Azores are home to many different whale and dolphin species. We have been observing whales in multiple countries so far: New Zealand, South Africa, Iceland, and now the Azores. Despite having been so many times, I still find it fascinating whenever I meet these beautiful creatures. One of the favorite pastime of many tourists on the Azores and Madeira is to visit viewpoints, or Miradorous in this case. Next to the Lagoa do Fogo, one of the viewpoints you shouldn't miss is the Sete Cidades one. If you don't shy away from adventure, an abandoned hotel offers both beautiful street art and a perfect view across the Sete Cidades caldera. Terceira and Pico Island offer you options to visit lava tunnels. With the surface of the flowing lava cooling down first, these tunnels are a common occurrence in the Azores. At Gruta das Torres you can find a guided tour through the cave. The information provided through these tours, however, is very limited. Again, if you're up for a more adventurous part, you can also find publicly accessible lava tunnels. While these tunnels are not as large and are a bit more adventurous to explore, you will have them all to yourself. Finally, we highly recommend a stroll through the fishing villages and old wine fields. Protected as a UNESCO World Heritage since 2004, the wine fields on Pico are a spectacular sight. The basalt fences provided protection from the strong winds and the salt spray from the sea. But to kill two birds with one stone, they also had to clear the rocks from the field to be able to plant something here. Next to the vineyards themselves, you will also find beautiful fishing villages that are worth a stroll. Just be aware that the best view of Pico might not always work out. If you found this video useful, please don't forget to press the like button. It's free and it helps our channel out a lot. If you want to learn more about one of the beautiful hikes we showcased, we'll put links to each of them down in the description below. Until next time.